All right, all right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into another Cocky Talk with Gamecock Chuck, and hopefully soon my partner, the deal maker, will be aboard. I just sent him a text message, so hopefully he'll be here shortly. Y'all know how we do it around here. We don't really have no script. We like to have fun. We like to talk Gamecock content, football, basketball, whatever the case may be, whatever's on y'all's mind. Participation is always welcome, and people that want to join can join the show as well. Keep it civilized and non-political, and we'll have a good time because that's what it's all about. Is just trying to entertain you, ladies and gentlemen, throughout this 1 hour show. As y'all saw in the headlines, we'll talk a little bit about some recruiting stuff. Crisis averted. We'll get into that here in a little bit. We'll talk about whatever. Like I said earlier, there's no script for this. We just go from the cuff and just talk whatever's on y'all's mind, whatever's on our mind, and try to have a good time here. Like I said, participation is always welcome, and one way y'all can participate and help the show is by hitting that thumbs up. Hitting that thumbs up so that everybody knows, let the YouTube algorithm know that you guys are checking it out. Whether you like it or not, you can hit the dislike button if you want to. Don't really matter to me. And I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything like that. I'm just saying, either way, it lets YouTube know that you guys are tuning in, whether you like it or dislike it. But I really appreciate it if you guys hit the thumbs up. It helps out a lot. And yeah, what's up, Scott, Mark, and David Green? Welcome in, welcome in. I hope everybody's had a fabulous week so far. These last couple of days, beginning of the week, the halfway point of the work week for all those that are working, that have 9-to-5 jobs or have jobs out there. For people that's retired, hey, you don't have to worry about it. But like I said, I hope everybody's had a great week so far. Mine's been just like every week, work, and then work some more, and try to stay afloat and alive in this world. So, like I said, I sent a text message to my buddy, the deal maker. Hopefully he'll be here along. He's supposed to be here alongside me to talk about tonight's show, but either way, we're going to try to get through it. So, fire away any questions y'all have. Y'all want to talk about anything, just put it in the chat. And I'll try to discuss it and talk about it. And like I said, if the deal maker gets here, he'll join as well and give his opinions on the matter as well. I will put the link in there here in a little bit for anybody who wants to join the show. And like I said, we'll have a good time. What's up? That's everybody. Like I said, crisis averted. If y'all saw the headlines, like I said, and like our last live and several other videos I've done, got a lot of Gamecock fans on the ledge. As far as recruiting, everybody's worried about South Carolina don't have a top 10, top 5, top 15, top 20 recruiting class. I guess depending on what site you look at. On3 has us up there right around, 17th or 18th. I haven't checked it today, but we were up there around the top 20 in the On3. But if you look at 247, that's a whole different ball game. We're down in the 50s, or we were the other day. I guess we're still around the 50s, and that's not. I guess when I looked at it, it was before we got that commit today. So we probably moved up a little bit. Like I said, let me check real quick. But we're probably right around the mid 50s, probably about 54, 53, probably if I had to guess. Like I said, I don't need that on here. Let's see here. No, we're still at 57, I guess. Even with the pickup that we got. Well, he's not showing, is he? Okay, hold on. 247. Yeah, they got us at 51st. So as far as recruiting, but we still got, like I said, a lot of Gamecock fans out there that's teetering on the edge, man. Teetering on the edge, just wanting to give up, wanting to, I guess, I don't want to put words in everybody's mouth, but I guess they're probably, wondering what's going on recruiting. Why is our NIL funds not being dispersed and getting these young talent to come or stay in the state of South Carolina and play for the Gamecocks? So we got a lot of fans like that. I'm not there yet. I've scratched my head a little bit here lately with the last couple commits that we didn't get. But then I stepped back and I took a look at why we lost PJ Dean. So that's one right there, PJ Dean, the young man committed to Georgia over the Gamecocks. And I mean, I didn't realize this just right, I guess, like the day or so before he committed. But the young man's brother played at the University of Georgia. His half brother, I guess it is, played for the University of Georgia. So, no surprise. I wasn't surprised when he picked Georgia. And then you got, was it Julian Walker, a young man from Dutch Fork High School right there in Irmo, decided to go to Michigan. His dad's on the strength and conditioning staff at the University of South Carolina. That was kind of a head scratcher. Some people said on Twitter that, he wanted to get away from South Carolina because I guess he saw that we were bringing in some defensive players with the Harris brothers and things like that. So I'm guessing he probably didn't want to compete for a starting role. I'm not sure if there was a bag involved or whatever. I don't know all the ins and outs on that, but that was kind of a little head scratcher there. And then Desmond Green, of course, we lost that young man to Florida. So yeah, Gamecock fans are on the edge there, on the edge of the cliff, wondering what's going on. Like I said, I haven't given up. We still got plenty of guys left that's going to be committing here soon, and we'll see if South Carolina can get them. But there he is. There's the deal maker. He finally made it in. Let me see if I can add him to the show. All right, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's happening, buddy?
You still at the beach?
Hell yeah, I'm sitting right here. Look.
There you go. The man's at the beach enjoying a family vacation. There you go. How's the weather down there?
Say what?
How's the weather?
For now it's windy as hell, but it had a rainstorm a couple of hours ago, but everything's great.
Okay. But now I was talking a little bit about recruiting. Like I said, the Gamecock Twitter's been.
When I was backstage, I heard what you were talking about, the boy that committed to Michigan. And I watched Jackpot's video on that take. And I don't disagree with Jackpot by no means. And I don't disagree with anything you had to say. But here's what I do disagree with. Shane Beamer knew all of this. That's what people don't realize. People don't want to admit, or they don't have the knowledge or the inside information that didn't happen because Shane Beamer did. If Shane Beamer wanted him, he would have been here. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, even though his daddy is an assistant strength coach, okay. Well, do you think Shane Beamer didn't know that? Do you think Shane Beamer didn't know that he was probably going to commit to Michigan? Well, let me answer that for you. Yeah, he knew every second of that. He knew everything about it.
Yeah, there was some rumblings that he wanted to go out of state anyway. I guess because of what we had committed and things like that. So,
well, listen. I mean, you've got two boys and a stepdaughter. Okay, I've got one boy. At the end of the day, as much as I would, and a daughter, and I have a daughter as well. As much as I want my children to go to my alma mater, if they chose different, you know what? That's their life, man. That's their life.
Yeah. You can't hate on the kid or the young man for wanting to, branch out and do his own thing. I did that when I was that age. So, my mom and them didn't even know I joined the military until I told them. So So I mean, you got to let them. You got to let them go out there and make their own life and things like that. So, but we did pick up a commitment today from 4-star defensive lineman Noah Clark out of Durham, North Carolina. We beat NC State, Virginia Tech for him. So a little bit of
Believe it or not, my wife Brittany told me that.
what's that?
My wife Brittany, well, you know who my wife is. Brittany told me that. She saw it on newsfeed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was all over Twitter. Yeah, he committed today to South Carolina. And I looked at some of his highlights and his huddle tape or whatever it is they put online. He's a big old boy. He's about 6'4", 6'6", somewhere around there. 330 pounds. Good athletic first move. He gets his offensive lineman up and moves them out the way. He sheds the tackle real well. Now, that's in high school. We all know it's a different beast when you step into SEC play and college play in general. So the young man's probably going to have to get in the weight room, get a little stronger, turn that fat that's on him, that young fat that's on him into some muscle. And I think he'll be okay. I mean, he's not going to be a plug-in-place right-away player, I don't think. But he's got some potential. He's a big-bodied defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And so we got some good news today. So hopefully Gamecock Twitter will calm down. And
Well, what they're doing is ignorance. I'm sorry. You know me. I'm very blunt. What they're doing is ignorance because they don't know anything about the inside of the program and what's actually happening. And I can promise you, I said this, 2 series ago of Gamecock Chuck and the Deal Maker. I can promise you, there ain't nothing happening that Shane Beamer ain't got his finger on. I promise you that, people. I promise you that. And if it's happening, he knows what's happening.
Oh yeah. What's up, P Digits? Welcome in, sir. We got some other commitments coming down the line. I don't know if we're gonna get them or not. So you got Samari Smoke Matthews. He's committing on the 11th. Joel Combe, a safety, he's committing on the 9th. Tamarian Watkins on the 14th. So there's opportunities out there. We also got Landon Duckworth. I still believe he's going to be a Gamecock.
I don't care, Chuck.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I understand.
I don't care whether he is or he isn't. At this point, I don't care because here's my thing. Can you ask a 17-year-old to commit? Absolutely, you can. Okay, you commit. Do you think a 17-year-old is going to stay committed? I mean, how many people at 17 years old are married and still married today? Well, other than me, I don't know. Not too many. But at the end of the day, it's not about committing who you want to go to. It's about the damn bag. And I think he played the damn rope. So I don't give a shit what he does. I don't care.
All right. Well, I appreciate your take on that. So, but we still got recruits out there, and like I said, I'm not worried right now as far as the recruiting aspects of the Gamecocks. I think we'll be a-okay.
I've told you exactly as much too now.
Yeah, whatever we don't get through the class of 26, we'll backfill with some portal players, and I think we'll be okay. And it looks like we lost the deal maker. I have no idea what happened there, but yeah, we still got some good chances on the board. Some pieces still left on the board to try to get into the class. So it's not all doom and gloom for the Gamecocks. So what's up, Dwayne Wicker? How you doing, bud? I haven't seen you around in a while. I don't think. I've not seen you in here before. Yeah, I think Dealmaker's thirsty. He had to go get him another beer, probably there, P Digits. I don't know, David Green. What we getting out of the portal? We'll see. I mean, we'll see what we get. I mean, like I said, we're gonna whatever we can't get in the recruiting on the recruiting trail, we'll have to backfill it on the out of the transfer portal, whether it's defensive lineman, offensive lineman, some running backs, probably um, some linebackers. I mean, who knows? We won't know until after the season's over, basically. Like I was talking to a guy at work today, and we've said this several times on here. You got to constantly be recruiting your team, trying to sell them on staying at South Carolina. Who knows? This time next year, this team might look totally different, offensively and defensively, with the NIL, transfer portal, all that stuff. So who knows what we're going to lose? Who knows what we're going to be needing by this time next year? So it is crazy, man. It's crazy. Like I said, I don't know where the deal maker went. He just dropped off on me. He must have got disconnected by the weather down there at the beach. But yeah, we still got some chances. So I'm not. David Green said I meant like April. He probably went to get seafood. Yeah, they ain't no telling what Dealmaker did, man. He probably lost the signal. I don't know. It looked like a little storm was behind him there off the pier at the beach. So I don't know. Hopefully he'll jump back in here. But if anybody else wants to come on, I'll drop the link, and we can, like I said, there's no script for this show, man. We just like having fun talking Gamecock, football, basketball, whatever the case may be. Let's see what else I saw some other stuff on X and stuff like that. College football. What was it? The EA Sports or whatever, they put out a top 20 quarterback list. If anybody's seen that on Twitter or whatever, that was out. I think that was yesterday that I saw it. They got Lenore Sellers at number 5, so little respect there on that. Got him at 5. Klubnik at 1. I got no beef with this list. It looks pretty solid. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. What's up, Tony Bell? He said, Chuck, one thing I love about this coaching staff is they do a great job of developing players, which is encouraging. Go Gamecocks. Yeah, they do. Like I said, that's the name of the game, man. Once you recruit these guys, you got to develop them. That's the only way you can have success. So, yeah, I agree with that. I guess I could say most of that. The offensive line, Lonnie Teasley is still, in my opinion, he's still one of the ones that are coming around. It seems like he's coming around a little bit, and I think this year will tell a big difference, or will tell a lot as far as whether or not he can develop talent, because it's time for South Carolina to put a good offensive line product out there to protect Lenore's, to open up running lanes, to do their job, to limit the amount of hits that Lenore's takes. Yeah, Kate Klubnik was number 1 there, David Reed. I got no problem with that. I mean, it's EA Sports. It's a video game. Like what did Klubnik throw for over 4,000 yards or something like that last year. So I got no problem with that. Young man can sling it around. I don't know what they based their rankings off of, but I think Luke Altmaier's a little low. They got him at 14th. I think he should probably be a little higher. Blake Horvat, he's at Navy. I didn't know Navy was a passing team. They got him at number 8, so maybe he's a little high. Carson Beck, they got him at 7. And then they got the kid from, I guess, BYU. I guess he's still at BYU. That Jake Retzlaff. I guess I don't know if he's still in legal trouble or not, but they got him at number 19. So, but I just thought that was pretty interesting. I like looking at other people's list of, top whatever quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, whatever the case may be. And like I said, I think they did Lenore's a solid, putting him at 5. So I got no problem with that list. It's not too bad. And then a lot of people's buddy Chris Phillips, he put his quarterback rankings out there, and he had Garrett Nussmeier number one. This is the SEC quarterback. This is not, NCAA like everybody. It's just the SEC quarterback. He put them in order, and he's got Garrett Nussmeier at 1, Lenoris at 2, Lagway at 3, Arch at 4, Pavia at 5. Which I like. I like Diego Pavia's swagger. I like his confidence. He's arrogant, but hey, he speaks what's on his mind, and that's I really dig that. He's pretty confident in his ability. Now, whether or not they can run the state of Tennessee this year in football and win a championship, I don't think that's going to happen. But I like his swagger. I like his cockiness. I like his confidence that he has in himself and the team. But they got him at 5. I have no idea who this is. Austin Simmons. He's the Ole Miss quarterback. I don't know anything about that guy. They got Marcel Reed from A&M at 7. Taylor Green, Arkansas at 8. Jackson Arnold, Auburn at 9. John Mateer, Oklahoma at 10. Blake Shapen, Mississippi State quarterback. Gunnar Stockton, 12. Ty Simpson in Alabama at 13, Bo Perbula, Missouri, Zach Quezada, Kentucky, and Joey Aguilar, Tennessee at 16. So that's Chris Phillips' rankings. Like I said, I like looking at all these things. It's kind of cool what some people think of quarterbacks. So I'm actually kind of surprised Chris Phillips has Lenore Sellers that high, to be honest with you. Considering all the shit he takes from Gamecock fans on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. So I'm actually surprised he put Lenore Sellers that high. But you know what? You got to respect the man's game. You got to respect what Lenore brings to the table week in and week out and what he can do with the football. Nussmeier will probably be number 1 overall draft pick. I don't know about that, Dwayne. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it depends on who comes out, I guess. And I have to wait and see. I ain't gonna make that prediction right now. Still got a whole season to go. I mean, he's got an opportunity. I ain't gonna disagree with it. He got an opportunity, but so there's a lot of players out there. So, but yeah, like I said, I like looking at these. I like looking at these lists and things like that. JD, you out there, man? I need to see if my buddy JD is out there since I can't get the deal maker to stay connected. Let's see real quick. See if I can get on Southern Fried Gentleman to pop on here. We'll talk about some baseball too. I saw an interesting thing. I think it was yesterday. Hold on, let me send this text. But yeah, if JD Wyatt, you out there, man, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. And like I said, in fact, let me go ahead and drop that link. We'll invite people on here. Like I said, keep it respectable and clean, and we'll have like I said, we'll have a good time, man. That's what it's all about. We don't have no script or nothing. We don't have no script around here, man. It's all straight from the hip. So, but yeah, anybody want to get up here? We talk football. We talk whatever. But I wanted to invite JD Wyatt on because I saw an interesting story. He watches a lot of Major League Baseball, and I wanted to run something by him on that or talk with him about that. That's some things I heard yesterday and read. So, let's see here. What's up, Todd Gwynn? How you doing, buddy? I can't see you come in here. Appreciate you being here. Because hopefully we'll be getting good recruits in July. Yeah, I mean, like we said before, June, July, first part of August, Usually the time where the recruits start committing to South Carolina, where we get a lot of our commitments. So we'll see. I'm not jumping off any ledges right now. So we still got some time. Not worried yet. But yeah. Shoot, let me get back to something else. I guess I'll switch gears real quick since nobody's coming on. Got a big time women's basketball recruit on an official visit up until tomorrow. I think the last day of her visit is tomorrow. 5-star wing player, McKenna. I think this is how you say her last name, Velichko. From the California area. Her and her family is in town on an official visit. Coach Daly had her at Williams-Brice Stadium, I think, last night. Had her and the family out there that's playing Sandstorm and waving the towels and doing all kind of things. So she is on an official visit to South Carolina. She is down to Iowa, Ohio State, South Carolina, Iowa, South Carolina, Ohio State, and Southern Cal. That's the other one. She's down to 4 schools, and she's a good player from what I've seen on her highlights. A very explosive player, a big time rebounder. Can score she can score anywhere on the court, all 3 levels. So she's a big time player. She suffered an ACL injury at the beginning of the year. So hopefully she's rehabbing, taking care of that, getting that all better. And like I said, she's on a visit right now with the Gamecocks. And yeah, we definitely need some bigs. I ain't gonna disagree there, David. But she'd be a good piece to get on the team. Will we get her? Here's my thoughts. I think it's a long shot that we get her. I really do. And not that I don't have faith in Coach Daly, but I just think the relationship she's built with some of the other players in her class is probably going to hurt us more than help us. This is my crystal ball for her. I'll go ahead and put my crystal ball. The crystal ball for Chuck, I think she's going to go to Iowa. I really do. I think she ends up being a part of the Iowa's class of 2026 recruiting class. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just, like I said, I think she's built relationships with some of them young ladies on that team from her recruiting class, and I think that's going to go a long way in getting her to sign with Iowa. That's just my take. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see her being at South Carolina. So, but I hope I'm wrong. I will gladly eat crow on that. But let's see here. We do definitely need a good rebounder. Scott, you're right. Let's see. Harbor's first year full-time football. Hopefully, he really shines. Yeah, he's put a lot of pressure on himself. Put a lot of, I guess I haven't heard what they are, but he's put a lot of expectations on himself this year. A lot of lofty goals, and I'm not sure exactly what they are. I haven't read about them or seen them. So if y'all know, let me know. But it's his turn to shine. It's his turn to shine. This is what, 3rd year in the program. So it's about time for him to shine, to, like I said, to produce out there. He started coming on near the end of the year last year, and it's go time now. He don't have no track. He got nothing else occupying his time as far as track and field. He's focused on the playbook, getting better, getting stronger, getting faster, getting bigger, and he it's his time. I agree. I agree with you there, David. What's up there, Big Barney Ross? Welcome in. He said, "Did he be giddy because he be found and not guilty?" Oh, they found him not guilty. Wow. Which I don't really. No, that really don't bother me. I don't really care anything about that mess. Anything to do with Hollywood, it's all a bunch of garbage out there. Tony Bell said Biggs hurt us last year. Yeah, you're right. In women's basketball, go jump back to that. You're right. We didn't have the dominating bigs down low to control the rebounds, to be that rim protector on the women's basketball team. You could tell the difference in having a Camila Cardoza, Asia Wilson, and Leah Boston. You could tell that's what was lacking on last year's team. But headed into this year, we got some ladies that we got on the team through transfer portal that I think is going to fit in just nicely there. You should be able to tell the difference in last year's team and this year's team as far as the women's basketball. Scott said, I feel a lot better that you were saying Iowa. Yeah, like I said, that's just my gut feeling. Things I've read online. I don't have no inside knowledge, so that's my crystal ball prediction for the young lady. I think she ends up at Iowa. I can't remember the recruit's name that she's built a good relationship with. I just think that's gonna keep her away from South Carolina, that relationship. And I guess you could say it's closer to home. It's in the Midwest. And she's from California, so I think that will keep her. The relationship she's built will keep her in Iowa, or will send her to Iowa versus South Carolina. Now, if I had a number two that she'd go to, I think she'd choose Southern Cal. It's the home state school, and they got some good players there with Juju Watkins and all that. So they got some good players on that team. So I think she'll fit in there as well. But you can't count Dawn out. We still gonna give it a shot and see what happens. I'm not sure when she's gonna announce. Haven't heard anything about it, but we shall see. Dwayne said that gal from Mississippi State should be a big help. Oh yeah, Medina Ocott. Yeah, she's gonna be a huge get for South Carolina. Like I said, I don't think she has a whole lot of or she don't have as much experience as I'd like. God dang it, dog. Shut the fuck up. But I'm happy to have her. She's a big piece that we need. Sorry about that. How much is our NIL for women's basketball? I have no idea. There, Todd. It's probably not anywhere near what we'd like it to be. But women's basketball, I mean it draws good crowds, but I think we just don't make enough money off of it. I think I heard Rob and Jackpot said only two teams in women's basketball to make a profit. That's Iowa. Well, that was Iowa when Caitlin Clark was there. Iowa and Connecticut, which Connecticut's always going to make money. I mean, think about it, they got shit up there to do with Connecticut. Ain't nothing to do with watch basketball. Their football team shit. Their baseball team shit. So I mean, all there is to do is watch women's basketball. P. Diddy said, "Fill that swear jar up, Chuck." Yeah, I would. as much as I say stuff I shouldn't say. But Big Murray said easy devil dog. Hey, she'd come on the show, man. She would probably bark like crazy. PD just said, I think Chuck's dog may be a Clemson fan. Nah, that's okay. We have to get rid of her. Have to put her down. Nah, I couldn't do that. I love that dog. But yeah, that's what we got on the basketball front. Looks like we got about 12 viewers in here, so make sure everybody hit that like button, please. I was hoping JD would come on and we could talk some Major League Baseball. I don't watch a whole lot of Major League Baseball, but like I said earlier, I did see an article that came across my internet or across my Twitter. Yes, I think it was yesterday that I wanted to talk about. Maybe P did just jump on here, man. We talk some baseball a little bit. Oh shit, he's probably busy frying. But P Digits, he's a baseball guru, and like I said, I'm not a Major League Baseball guy, but P Digits, hit that link up, buddy. I want to see if you heard about this. I thought it was pretty crazy. I thought it was wild. There you go. Yeah, you are. Come on, man. Jump on. Let's talk a little bit. You know more about it than I do. I guarantee you. I don't know who's playing for who's coaching what team. I haven't watched a Major League Baseball game in, God, probably years, man. Probably years. I can't get into it like I used to. So let me see if I can. Let's see. But anyway, here we go. Let's. Quick question. Who's the smartest baseball player? Who's the smartest current baseball player? Can anybody guess who that is? The smartest one out there. I give y'all a second to answer that. Anybody's got an answer. Y'all probably saw this too, because I thought it was crazy. I didn't know this shit was going on. But there's a former baseball player that I think he's a fucking genius. And there's Deal Maker. He finally come back. What's up, buddy?
What's happening, Bubba?
Oh, no, man. I didn't know where you went. So I just been rambling on and on. So.
Oh, well, when you're on vacation down at the beach and you got the youngins down at the arcade, I was up on the pier when I was talking to you earlier. Well, I say talking to everybody. But the damn internet just cut me out.
That's what I figured it did. I figured you had some kind of internet issue out there. But no, I was just talking about Major League Baseball. I saw a story yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It might have been today. No, it was today. Did you know? I just asked everybody, who's one of the smartest baseball players or former baseball players in the Major League Baseball was. And did you know that Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid from the New York Mets and the Baltimore Orioles, and he ain't played baseball since, 2 decades ago?
I would never guess that.
He's getting paid $1.2 million a year every July 1st until 2035. And he's getting $500,000 from the Baltimore Orioles till 2028.
Well, I call myself the deal maker, and that's my name, and everybody knows me as the deal maker. But he is the real fucking deal maker.
Yeah, his agent, I guess back in 1999 when he retired, the Mets still owed him $6 million, and they didn't want to pay him all up front. So they agreed like an idiot. They agreed to pay him with 8% yearly interest.
Wow.
So that thing went from $6 million to $30 million.
So he wasn't that smart. It was his agent that was that damn smart.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, he's still. I think he's pretty smart. I mean, he got a good agent. But
Well, I mean, 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Who the agent's making probably 10% of that at least.
Yeah. But every July 1st, that man gets $1.2 million, and then another $500,000. He makes about $2 million, and it just shows up one day a year to get paid. Don't do nothing. I ain't played baseball in over 20 years. That's genius right there, man.
Well, man, it's the agent.
I'll welcome P. Digits on. Let's see what he has to say about it. He's more of a baseball guy than I am. So,
he want to come on?
What's up, P. Digits?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on? How you doing?
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible contract to get. I would dress really nice on those days. Walk in, I'd probably have a little bit of a strut.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, but that contract goes until 2035.
Yeah, and the other one goes to 2028. So he's still gonna get another $1.5 million from the Orioles, and that's just insane.
Pete Digits, I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to say thank you for being a supporter of me and Gamecock Chuck, but you're a Clemson Tiger, right? You're a Tiger fan, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you get on here and you listen to what we have to say about our Gamecocks, and you are never negative, and I'm not a negative individual either. And I support. Not too many Gamecocks want to believe this, but I support the Tigers. I do. Do I donate to them? No. But if I'm not winning, then I want them to win. So my question is this. Why don't you hate us like most Clemson fans do?
I don't know. I mean, it's not. I mean, I just like football, and one thing that you guys are doing right now, I saw a little bit of that with Dabo when he first started. So I'm kind of keeping up with that because I think you guys are doing things the right way. I think it says a lot when Sellers is offered $8 million and he decides not to take it just to take the money. I think that's saying something about your program. So I guess I just like seeing things kind of build up, but there's certainly years that, yeah, I don't want to see you guys win anything, but but that's never going to happen, and I've got plenty of friends. I've got family members that are Gamecock fans. So, we just talk. We don't necessarily go after each other's throats.
Well, listen, and that's the way I view it. At the end of the day, if you call it a house, my house is not divided. But at the end of the day, I have so many sisters, brother-in-laws, nieces, nephews. They're Clemson fans, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they support them not as hard as we support the Gamecocks. Don't get me wrong, but I mean they get season ticket holders. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I'm like, well, shit. If we can't do it, well, let them do it. Even though they got a wicker ass schedule and a wicker ass conference, let them do it. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's kind of like when you guys were rolling with baseball. To me, South Carolina is a little bit of a hidden gem when it comes to baseball players.
Yeah.
It
And
is very hidden, Jim. That is a good statement. That is a good statement.
and when you guys were kind of doing your thing with baseball, and a lot of them were South Carolina players, it's kind of hard not to cheer for them. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so
I mean, think about it. Hell, I'm sitting right here, exactly 4 miles away from the damn campus of Coastal Carolina right now at my beach house. Okay, so
hmm
who in the hell could not pull for Coastal Carolina? You know what I mean?
exactly, yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean, let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
pull for, yeah, I'm gonna pull for a lot of the state teams just because it's the state teams. Now, I might cheer for one over the other. A few times with Gamecocks playing someone else, I've cheered for them from the state, But I don't know. I think people kind of take it too far. Probably the people that get it the worst from me is people at work because they're all South Carolina fans, so they just hound you, and it's all in fun. Um, and my family members, they'll probably get it the worst. I mean, my brother's married to a former South Carolina cheerleader, and
Okay.
so it's just
He's a smart
it's
Okay,
just
guy.
but you know what I can't wrap my head around, and Chuck and I are very close friends, very close. But what I can't wrap my head around is you hear people like, uh, shit. I'm gonna come out there and say it. Uncle Luke, he hates Gamecock fans because he's a Georgia Bulldog. But guess what? Your ass is closer to South Carolina than you are Georgia, to Athens. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well,
And
he
then
was up in Augusta, so that's actually that's kind of Gamecock territory right around there.
That's right on
well,
the
you and I
line. Yeah.
both know that. You
You know,
and I both know. But and
Yeah.
then you got Carolina Jackpot, and he's up there in Greenville. Your ass is in them Clemson territory. You know what I mean?
hmm
And I'm like, why? Why? Listen, do I hate Clemson fans? No. Do I love to talk shit to them? Yes. I love it. I love it.
hmm
But I ain't had much to talk shit to them about for many years.
Yeah.
No, my family's their season ticket holders for football, and you know, for years and years, I went to every single home game, and so I sat. You know, I went to school down at College of Charleston, so when I was coming back and seeing Tommy West and those teams, and you know, that was pretty rough. So I think everybody just kind of goes through it, but the fun part of it is the build up to it.
I mean,
It's just like
you went to college,
2016. I
Charleston?
think.
That's where you graduated from?
So like 2016 when Clemson won it that year, I was sitting there going, "There's
Damn
no
it.
way we're going to win it." No way. And so when it happened, I was pleasantly surprised. And 2018, I would say the same thing with that. 2019, I thought against LSU, I thought we were going to win that one, and that didn't turn out too well for us.
Well, hey,
So it's just
I got a
it's
question
just
for
a
both.
build up.
I got a question for both of y'all. What do y'all
Go
think
ahead.
it'll take for Beamer to get South Carolina over that hump?
All right. Go
Say
ahead, Pete
say
Diggs.
that again, Chuck. I'm sorry.
I said, what do you guys think it'll take for Beamer to get South Carolina over that hump to that level?
Uh, I tell you what, Jordan, go ahead and take this one first, buddy.
You want me to take it? All right.
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead and
take it.
take that one first.
All right. Um, nothing specifically, will take him to get us over that hump. I think he is with a program that wanted him. Hey, I'm one of those. We're in a very small state per capita. We have to recruit other states such as Georgia, Florida, the DMV areas. But he is with a program that is behind him. Excuse my dog. Is behind him 100%. And he's going to get us there because he's got more money coming in this program that's ever been given to this program. He is following the exact replica of Dabo Swinney.
Okay. Big Barney Ross with a interesting take. He said it'll take wristbands and sand along with Connor Stallion's nephew.
Big Barney comes up with some bullshit. I ain't never heard about
Big Barney Ross.
I think what Dealmaker said is correct. I'm seeing similarities between the two. I think what every team needs in order to win it, you need luck, and that's got to strike when it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have luck.
The issue we're going to have is we play in the SEC. That's our biggest issue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Playing the SEC, you do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll say this. ACC teams can't afford to lose the number of games that SEC teams can. You know, you lose one, it's questionable if you're going to be able to get a chance to get in. You lose two, you're out. You lose two in the SEC, you're still in.
Well, you know what? I don't know you from Adam's house, Cat. I don't even know where you live at. But I'm going to tell you something. That's the truest thing I've ever heard you ever say or even message on a message board. Because those are facts. You're a realist, and that's why, you're a realist. I mean, you understand it. You understand this.
Oh, well, I mean, I understand the ACC very well. I have been wanting to get out of this conference for, probably well over 12 years, and that's just because of John Swofford and the powers that be that went on Tobacco Road. And I mean, some of the things that they did, it was just ridiculous. And and I know this is just it's women's soccer. People don't really follow that, but North Carolina, on their schedule every year, last 2 weeks they were at home. Yep. Florida State during that time, they had one of the top clubs in the nation, but the last 2 weeks they were on the road all the time, and so they would get into the ACC tournament tired, get knocked out. And where was it held? Up in North Carolina. The tournament. Well, so one year the head coach said, screw it. And he didn't play his starters the whole tournament. They got knocked out. John Swofford fined the Florida State women's soccer club. I think it was $65,000. They probably got fined more than they brought in that year. Wow. And so when you have things like that go on, and I can go back a whole lot further, I've been wanting out. Now, the one thing that I love about the SEC, you guys, every week, you got a big game. And I mean, you got a big game every single week. Clemson? Nope, they don't. And you got to kind of pump yourself up. You want to get a win. What you really are scared of is losing, more than
Because you
enjoying the
can't.
game.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't lose.
no, mm-mm.
Can't afford.
Not
Yeah, you can't afford to lose.
No, you can't. But I think,
well.
you know, I'm
It,
hoping things work out to where we can jump out. It's going to take a few years, but I love how they attack this. People were like, "Oh, they wasted all that money with those lawyers." Look, at that time, people were throwing out $500 million in order to be able to get out of a conference. They paid lawyers
P,
for a year, and immediately when it came back, now it's down to 150. That was well worth it. Well played. So
P
we'll
Digits,
see
listen.
where it all takes it.
I want you to hear what I'm about to tell you. And I'm telling you what I know, not what I think, okay? I'm telling you what I know for a fact. You think that the players wasn't making $200,000-$300,000 a year prior to all this bullshit? You're wrong. You're wrong. Because they were being paid. But now it's legal. It's legalized. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
If
I
you
never
had
said that they weren't being paid. Like you
they
said,
were,
I'm a realist.
yeah, they were, that they were being paid.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
they were being paid from now shit, I was about to name some names. No, I don't need to do that. Joe Blow's
No.
car dealership. You know what I'm saying? They were being paid.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's legalized. Now it's the kids, and I call them kids, and I can call them kids. I'm in my mid-40s. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm old enough to be their daddy. You know what I'm saying? But now they're being paid legitly.
Yeah.
And South Carolina being a small state by capita, Clemson being up there in the north part, the Greenville Anderson area, you can leave Anderson and be in Georgia in 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And South Carolina, meaning the Gamecocks, people say Billy Cole and a lot of them say, oh, yeah, South Carolina don't have no money. No, that's a lie. We got the money.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, Dabo did it his way, and Shane Beamer's doing it. They're close friends, very close friends, like me and Gamecock Chuck. He is replicating exactly what Dabo did in the SEC, which he learned from numerous people. Number one, Steve Spurrier. Number two, Kirby Smart. Number three, Egghead over there in Oklahoma. And I call him Egghead because he's out there in Southern California now, and he ain't shit. But anyway,
Those Stoops.
No.
Was it Stoops or? Oh no, yeah.
Lincoln
Sorry.
Riley.
Yeah, we got his brother as office coordinator. I should have known that.
yeah, you should have that. But at the end of the day, he is actually playing his. He has brought more money into this program, including me. Me, hell, I put more money into it than I ever have in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yep.
but we got to do what we got to do to compete in the SEC.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, speaking of NIL money, do y'all think there needs to be a salary cap with these players, paying these players?
Absolutely. Tell you
You're a
why.
businessman. You're a businessman, deal maker.
Absolutely, there's got to be a salary cap because let me tell you why. Because if the NFL didn't have it, Jerry Jones would have to win in this team every year because he got more money than everybody. Hello, y'all hear what I said?
Oh yeah,
I did.
Yep. What do you think there, P Digits?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of schools that have a whole lot more money. Um, if they want to spend that kind of money and end up with a Nico situation, go right ahead. You see the same thing with Major League Baseball. There's no salary cap there. It's New York Yankees every year shoving out way more than everybody else. So, and they don't win it every year.
Yeah.
So I guess the way I kind of look at it is, if you put in caps, you know, um, well, they're just going to pay in another way.
Yeah.
Just like what Jordan was saying, and I agree with him. Where people being paid, hell, people were being paid in the 80s.
Yeah. And,
So
and, Big, and Big Barney Ross said it. I mean, these teams ain't going to obey no salary cap. Whether
right.
if they
So
do
it's just they're just going to do it another way.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
I think there's got to be some kind of rules, stipulations. There got to be something to go along with this, or like Jordan said, you're gonna have people buying all the good players.
Well,
look,
listen. Clemson, I have to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Dabo and Dabo can go up there and thump his Bible all he wants to. Listen, I know Dabo met him several times. He can thump his Bible all he wants to, but he knows his players are getting paid. And way before all this started, his players are getting paid. Okay.
sure, sure, but the market's huge, so they're gonna get something some way somehow. Whether it's a salary cap, heck, you can just go ahead and you know walk in and get $1.2 million one time a year, just like Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
He did. Can I ask you a question? And I'm not
Go
being
ahead.
perfect. And then, how old are you?
I'm 51.
Okay, you're 51. Okay, so you and
Mhm.
I and Chuck are not too far apart.
I guess not. No.
At the end of the day, if you were 18 years old and somebody offered you $1 million, what the hell would you have done with the $1 million? You'd have been stupid, right? You'd have been stupid with it. You wouldn't have known what to do with it, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not surrounded by stupid people.
Well,
So I'm sure I would have
but I'm saying
got it in a.
if you take the average athlete, the mama and daddy were struggling to pay the damn light bill, and you got offered $1 million. Think about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see a problem with it though. I got upset a few years back when the NCAA, and I know why they did it, but the NCAA for these basketball players said that you couldn't go straight um,
High school.
from high school to the NBA, which I thought was ridiculous. The only reason that you're
I
making them
agree.
go 1 year is so you can get money off
Yeah.
of them before they go to the NBA. I mean NBA. And what is it called? It's called the NCAA basketball tournament. They make money off of this. They sell it.
Oh, yeah, they've always made money off of the athletes.
Yeah.
But here's my thing, man. Here's my thing. All right, I'm an old man now. I'm not old shit. I'm in the prime of my life. I hope I am. I feel like I am. I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been in my life. But I was an athlete. But at 18 years old, if you'd have paid me $1 million to play baseball, you know what I'd have done? I'd have looked at my mom and dad and said, "Well, what'd I do with that?" I wouldn't. It wouldn't even concern me. You know why? Because I was bought a 1988 pickup truck. That was my first. I didn't know anything other than playing ball and working the farm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So money wasn't a I guess, a virtue, something that I didn't need money, because if I wanted it, it was there because I worked my ass off for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
but I guess it's the difference in, these children. And hell, I got one. I got one 13 years old and one about to be 8 years old, and they're gifted. I mean, me and my wife, they have lives that I didn't have. I had to work my ass off, man. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I had to
Mm-hmm.
work my ass off. And if I went to the store, I didn't turn around and say, well, when the clerk said, you got a pack of nabs and a Coca-Cola and a pack of peanuts, I just turned around and my granddaddy said, I got it. Put it on my tab. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
when I showed up to school, I didn't have the nicest clothes in the world, but I guarantee John Brown to you, I got 3 pair of blue jeans and 3 pairs of shorts before I went to school that year. You know what I'm saying? But I never
Mm-hmm.
got paid from working on that farm. But that's how I got
Right.
paid. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And
Big
and,
boy.
and that's a lost. That's lost. That's lost.
Well, and you were talking about get $1 million to an 18-year-old. The danger of an 18-year-old burning through $1 million is not the scary thing for a young pro athlete. The thing is you made that $1 million and you think you've arrived and you don't keep pushing yourself further. That's the scary thing.
Bam.
Yep.
That's the truest statement I ever heard. Hey, say it. Say it one more time. I want to hear it one more time. That was awesome. Say it one more time.
I don't know if I can say it exactly like I just said it, but the scary thing is not giving $1 million to an 18-year-old and them blowing it. The danger is a young pro athlete thinking they've arrived because they got $1 million and they don't continue to improve themselves.
Yeah.
It's just like that with anybody at any job.
The reason why I told you to say it again, hell, I made $1 million by the time I was 23 years old. But at the end of the day, I was 23 years old. And I was getting married. You know what I'm saying? And I was starting a business of my own. And oh my God, I could not have quoted that any better than what you just did. That's why I said, say it again.
Well, I'm sorry if the second time I did it disappointed, but no, it's true. It's the drive. It's the drive.
It's what you do after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of, growing up in the 80s and 90s, NBA basketball was everything. And you saw everything. You saw the money come flowing in. You saw it building up. You saw the contracts just changing with it. Basically, in 10 years, they changed. But there were some people, they would get a lot of money and they just kind of quit. They were fine. Other people, they were getting even more and they still had more drive. They were still hungry.
Yeah, you got to stay hungry or you're going to starve. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
So I think what you're going to see with some of these, and I think in Tennessee, we saw it this offseason. We saw a young man getting a lot of money. I don't know if he's burned through it or not, but did he improve? And I think what we're going to find out is Tennessee has another quarterback sitting back there, and that's why it was so easy to let Nico move on.
Yeah.
Well, that I agree with, number one, but I also agree. You know what? And Chuck's going to frown his face when I say this. I applaud Josh Heupel. I do. I applaud the man because at the end of the day, he's got, he don't have an unlimited bank account. But in anybody that says the coaches don't have anything to do with it, they're liars. They're liars. I'm in the program. Okay, they're liars. Yeah, they know all of it. Okay, they're liars. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't need this. I don't need this. I can spend half of your money to get 4 other people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's what he did. He made a decision.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's true. That's true. It's just kind of like I'm a New England Patriots fan, and you saw Bill Belichick. He would never take a running back until usually like the maybe the fourth round, fifth round, but he would gobble up a lot in the sixth. And I was watching him one day doing an interview, and he said, "Why do I want to pay for a first round for one player when I have 4 players? The running back's the shortest career in the NFL. Why invest so much money into it?" And then he went and he actually did get someone, I think a Georgia player, Georgia running back, Sonny, maybe. What was his name? That went and played for the Patriots. But he was the only first round pick that I saw Bill Belichick pull in the first round.
He did.
You know?
You might think I'm crazy as shit, but it's called Moneyball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's called Moneyball. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yep.
Well, you're seeing it. You're seeing it happen in baseball now. You know, when we were growing up, we were watching Atlanta Braves, and how many innings did Greg Maddux pitch?
Oh, shit.
8, 9. You know, he finished off a lot of games, didn't he? And a lot of those guys, you know, David Cohn, he would go for a full game. There's a lot of guys that went for a full game, but how much money were you paying them?
Yeah.
So now you're seeing baseball basically kind of load up their minors. They've got, they've got their pitchers, but those pitchers are going 5 innings now. That's stopping the agent coming in and saying, well, he did so many complete games for you. You
Yep.
know, well, I can dictate how much I'm going to be paying them.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But I just, it's just like me going to the River Ball a month ago, whatever it was, 6, 7 weeks ago. And sitting there talking with Shane Beamer, talking with all the coaches actually. And it cost me $15,000 for a table, the whole works. Now that's my contribution. Me and my family's contribution to the program. But yeah, we have box seats, air conditioning. If you don't want to be in the air conditioning, you can walk out and sit in the seats in front of it. We got them
Right.
at Williams. We got them at Colonial Life, whatever. But at the end of the day, what are we doing, man? What are we doing now? We're doing what we've always done, but now it's legalized. Now, when I say that, am I paying anybody? No, absolutely not. Are our companies paying anybody? No, absolutely not. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, no, we are not paying any athletes for name, image, and likeness. But we're paying $100,000 a year because we're a Gamecock thing. So, where the hell do you think that money goes?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
And
Couldn't agree more.
And let me tell you this. A 19-year-old, I think he might be 20 now. Lenore Sellers, our quarterback, in my opinion, has the biggest upside of any quarterback in the game. But we ain't got no damn line. If we don't get our damn line fixed, I'm gonna tell Shane Beamer, I'm gonna run his damn ear off. You hear me? I'm gonna run his damn ear off, and he gonna listen to what I got to say. Now, he might not pay attention to it, but he gonna listen to it in that moment when I tell him.
Approach is important.
Oh man.
Shit. If it was me, hell, I told him. We were standing up there talking, and he was like, "What do you think about this upcoming year?" I'm like, "Shit, you don't need to ask me. I need to ask you, what the fuck do you think?"
Yeah, you running the show? What the hell?
Well, I think bringing Elliot in was genius. Yeah, I think bringing Ellis,
because Lonnie Teasley was standing over there about 7 foot from me, and I walked over to Lonnie. I said, "Bo, you doing all right?" You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to talk to your boss man and talk shit about your damn line, but I mean, hell, you doing all right? How you doing?
Oh man.
Yeah, I think bringing in Elliot's going to help. I think bringing Elliot in is going to help that offensive line.
Well, listen, I am 100 shit. I tell you, I'm 200%. I'm 200% confident that Sean Elliott. Now, I do know this for a fact. Now, let me tell you this. Shane Beamer didn't hire Sean Elliott. Okay. Now, this I know for a fact. Ray Tanner, that everybody hates, and I understand why they hate Ray Tanner. I understand. Well, I don't understand why they hate him. I understand their differences with Ray Tanner. But Ray Tanner hired Sean Elliott to come back. Okay? Beamer didn't have no say-so in that deal. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. he had no say-so. Now, he might agreed with it, but no, that deal was happening.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. I think that Sean Elliott would have had a good chance at that head coaching position at South Carolina until they lost to Citadel.
You hit the nail on the head and drove it with one lick, brother.
Yep.
No.
Yep. So, all right. I guess that's going to do it for tonight. I know Jordan's got a wrap up got a vacation going on. So, I guess I got to get off here and go spend some time with the family and get ready for work again tomorrow. So, I appreciate you coming on, P Digits, Deal Maker. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for letting me up, bud.
Oh, anytime, man. Like I said, I needed a baseball guru and somebody that had a little bit
baseball guru
and had a little bit of common sense to talk on here. So,
where'd you say you live? You said you were up there in Greenville. Where'd you say you were at?
I'm sorry?
Where do you live at? Greenville.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm down in the PD.
Yeah, Jordan. I'm down there about every month.
Whereabouts?
Manning. I know you're from Manning, but I'm in the. I go to Manning a lot. That area right there.
Doing what? Never mind. Don't say that. No.
No, I'm not.
Don't say that.
I'm not. But it's for work.
Okay. Chuck, do you know how to get in touch with him?
Who, P Digits?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I can locate him on social media. Well,
all right. Well, we can discuss that. We're not doing that on here.
No. We'll pass that along some other time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and jump off, Chuck, so you can go ahead and wrap it up. Jordan, again, nice talking with you. People in the chat, Scott and all you guys, man, always enjoy coming in here and talking with you guys. So
All right.
Appreciate
have a
you,
good
PJ.
Appreciate you,
have a
buddy.
safe forward.
You
Y'all
too, brother.
too.
All
All right.
right. All right, Jordan. Have a good one, man. Have a good rest of your vacation, man. I'll talk to you probably tomorrow sometime. So
Tell the kids I said hello. Tell your wife I said hello from my wife and my kids, and holler at me later on.
yeah, y'all be safe, man. Tell everybody I said hey.
All right, bud.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. If you watch this show later, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new, hit the like, comment. We had a pretty good show, I think so. We talked a lot about football, basketball, baseball. And so, yeah, we had a good time. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed my good buddy P Digits and Jordan, the deal maker, on here. Appreciate Scott, David, Big Barney, Todd, Mark, David Green, JD, Scott, probably mentioned him already. Everybody, man, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Tony Bell, Dwayne Wicker, appreciate everybody for tuning in. And yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go to family. Y'all have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. So make sure you guys are sharing this stuff out there, subscribing, liking, all that good stuff. And like I said, if you watch it later, get a comment. If you got a comment or you want to let me know how we're doing, drop a comment in there. We'll see you guys in the next one. So you have a good night.